So I was a fan of the Nets and their bargain deal for Karis LeVert. I think he's got potential to be a number 3 dude behind Kyrie and KD and all that. But we got to talk about this Nets team in this particular season and how good can they be? Can Kyrie lead these guys to whatever? And I do think the East is a little tricky to predict this season because, between the Celtics defense potentially falling off a cliff without Horford, especially with Cantor taking up minutes now. The Raptors, you could talk me into the Raptors being fine without Kawhi, not a title contender, but still pretty good. You could also talk me into them really struggling on offense. Oladipo is not as healthy as I thought he was, so now I'm kind of iffy on the Pacers, also because I think the loss of Thad Young is kind of getting swept under the rug a little bit. Defensively, he was really something for them last season. And so now you just have the Nets, where, number one, if we're ranking the best players in the Eastern Conference, Kyrie is, number 3? If we're considering KD being out, a part of that, then maybe you could argue with somebody about Blake versus Kyrie, I don't know. But Kyrie's up there, right? So, for a lot of Eastern Conference games, the Nets are going to have the best player on the floor. And I'm expecting Kyrie to do his normal thing. I'm also expecting Kyrie to go on some crazy run at some point this season. No clue when it'll be, but it's going to be like a 2-week stretch where he's averaging 33 points a game, and the Nets win 7 games in a row or something. But the other question with Kyrie is he going to be a model citizen when things are not going as great? I mean, let's say to open up the year, what if this team's 6-4 or something? Is Kyrie gonna be a weirdo in the locker room? You'd like to think between him and KD arranging this and him being friends with DeAndre Jordan that will not happen, but we got no real clue. And I think it's fair to at least be kind of fearful of that. Another thing to care about is, should we still be afraid that Kyrie doesn't really get guys involved like that? I don't know. I mean, obviously we've seen the guy win on the highest stage, but the 2 years with the Celtics were weird. I mean, the first year he's got rookie Tatum, who doesn't want to step on anybody's toes. He's got no Gordon Hayward, so he was forced to kind of do everything. And then we know that shot distribution was a problem for the Celtics last year. Not all of it was Kyrie's fault, but I don't think none of it was his fault either. So, are we going to see the Nets be kind of like Houston Rocketsy, where Kyrie has the ball to the point where it's a little uncomfortable? I don't know. I mean, Kenny Atkinson runs a good offense where there's a lot of movement, but they also run a crap ton of pick and roll. NBA.com tells me last season the Nets averaged 24 pick and rolls a game. The Celtics averaged 16. So do with that whatever you will. Also, there's going to be the Kyrie ISOs as well. Plus, I don't think anybody on this team is good enough to command the ball away from Kyrie. Dinwiddie's good. Karis is good. Could be very good. But I just don't picture those guys really getting frustrated when Kyrie does a lot. They're kind of going to expect that. When KD comes back, obviously, KD's going to do more stuff than Kyrie, assuming KD's injury doesn't hold him back too much. But as far as this season's concerned, is it insane to say that Kyrie is going to be the second leading shot taker in the NBA behind Karl Anthony Towns or something? It could be a possibility. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing for the Nets? It could be totally fine. If Kyrie averages 27 points and is as efficient as he always is, then the Nets could have one of the best offenses in the league this season. Especially because they also got dudes who can make shots, between Dinwiddie, whose jumper's improved. Karis's three is a little in question, but I'm expecting him to play off of Kyrie pretty well. Taurean Prince can make an open three. Joe Harris is, of course, Joe Harris. DeAndre and Jared Allen can finish alley-oops. It's just all kind of set up for a ball-dominant dude to be the biggest version of himself, right? I mean, in a way, we basically saw that with D'Lo for them, right? So, yeah, I guess that could be the expectation. Now, is it also possible they're just passing the ball around a lot and Kyrie's looking a little more normal? Yes, but if you force me to pick, I'm going to go with the former option, which is it's going to be the Kyrie show. And then in terms of defense and all that, I'm expecting this team to be good. They were great defensively for a pretty decent stretch to end last year. And I guess there's a fear if DeAndre starts over Jarrett Allen because Jarrett Allen's simply the better player. But between like Jarrett and Karras, who's big, and Taurean Prince, who's big, and Kyrie, who was a little better defensively for the Celtics, not in that Bucks series, but overall he improved. Joe Harris at least tries. I like this team, assuming Kyrie doesn't have a meltdown. Now, where does that put them in the context of the Eastern Conference this season? So ESPN predicts that they're the 5th seed and they win 45 games. And they also have it to where the difference between the 3 seed and the 7th seed is like 5 games. I think that's fair. I think it's cool to expect the Nets to be around the 45 win mark. But because I'm kind of talking myself out of the Pacers and the Celtics a little bit, am I crazy for predicting the Nets to get the 3 seed? I probably am a little bit. I guess I'll say the 4th seed to be safe. But yeah, I think they'll be right there. I think they're going to be a scary team to face in the postseason, at least for a round 1 team. I mean, if they get the 4, then they're probably playing like the Celtics, which that would be very fun, but the Celtics or the Pacers or Miami or somebody like that in round 1, and I think the Nets can win that series. Now in a round 2 series where they're facing either the Bucks or the Sixers, that's a different conversation. But yeah, I'll just repeat what I said again. I like this team, assuming Kyrie doesn't have a meltdown.